Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Sanjay Kumar, Professor and Head Physiology, Sikkim Manipal Institute of Medical Science, Gangtok. First of all, thank you, Dr. Karma Bhutia, ma'am, and media team for giving me an opportunity to speak on this occasion of International Yoga Day 2021. Today, I will be talking about the physiological effect of yoga. So, objectives: understanding what is yoga, what yoga does to your body and mind, physiology and yoga connectivity, its physiological benefits, its negative effect, if any. The bent of modern society due to work-related stress, aging, pollution, unhealthy food habits, and lifestyles are the major trigger factor for hormonal imbalance, thus leading to alteration of human physiology. Physiology revolves around understanding how the human body maintains a steady state while adapting to outside conditions, like how do your organ system keep your body temperature relatively stable in different environment? How does your body keep your blood sugar and other chemical level constant even when you eat different foods? This is a complex mechanism called homeostasis. Modern medicine is very effective in controlling infection, performing surgeries, and managing diseases. However, it has limited role in stress-based old age and lifestyle-related disorder, which are the bane of modern society. Yoga has been found to be very effective in these conditions. So, what is yoga? Yoga is a psychosomatic spiritual discipline for achieving union and harmony between our mind, body, and soul. The word yoga comes from Sanskrit root yaj, which means union or yog, to join and to direct and concentrate one's attention. Yoga has been a part of Indian culture and tradition for long. Now the time has come to scientifically validate this and implement this as an alternative medicine treatment method. Stress versus human physiology and triggers autonomic activity, which may damage human body at the physical, mental, and emotional level. Why yoga? To achieve the World Health Organization goal of providing physical, mental, spiritual, and social health to the society. What yoga does to your body and mind? Once yoga becomes a part of your lifestyle, but your body will start to change at deep level. Regular practice of asanas and a specific breathing rhythm bring your body and mind into balance, affecting the different body functioning positively. Looking at the physiological benefit of yoga, yoga basically have effect on all the organ and system. Mainly, I am going to highlight here the effect on the nervous system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, skeletal muscular system, and digestive system. The nervous system, human nervous system, has two main branches. Central nervous system consists of the brain and spinal cord, linking and structure of the body and organs with the central nervous system. Autonomic nervous system gives us an understanding of how yoga boosts our ability to cope with stress of the body. Here, if you see, the central nervous system mainly comprises of brain, spinal cord, brain, which receives and processes sensory information, and initiates in responses, stores memories, generate thoughts and emotions. These emotions are carried via the nerve, motor and sensory nerve, conducted through the spinal cord. Cord signals to and from the brain to control reflex activities. Mainly, somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system play a great role in yoga. So, somatic nervous system mainly controls voluntary movements, whereas autonomic nervous system controls involuntary responses. So, these all autonomic nervous system through the sympathetic and parasympathetic division of nervous system, depending upon the situations, they come in the picture for the fight or fright or rest or digest. So with this picture, I would like to explain you here. So most of the organ and bodies are connected with each other through the nerve, and these nerves, which gives a sensation to the brain, and through the brain, through the spinal cord, it goes to the effector organ. When you see that sympathetic and parasympathetic activity, so you must have experienced that during stress, what happens that your mouth gets dry. Why it's so is all because that sympathetic activities that inhibit salivation, because of that you feel dryness of your mouth, whereas parasympathetic stimulation stimulates salivation. Same as when you will see that heart beats around 60 to 90 beats per minute, a normal healthy adult. So around 72 beats per minute, who actually makes that 72 beats per minute to work? So based upon that nerve supply which is going to that heart through the sympathetic and parasympathetic, mainly vagus nerve, which depending upon the situation, heart rate increases or decreases. When heart rate increases, it is called tachycardia, and when this decreases, it is called bradycardia. So this ultimately, that heart rate is actually controlled by the sympathetic and parasympathetic stimulation. We'll take another example in GI tract, the digestive system. When you are under stress, that you won't feel hungry, right? Is why? Is all because of that sympathetic activity inhibit digestion, whereas the parasympathetic activity stimulate your digestion. So that on the effect on the bladder and rectum, if you see, the bladder relaxes bladder in composition, in effect of that sympathetic, and whereas parasympathetic that contracts bladder. So this have impact on your urogenital system as well. The worrying does not takes away tomorrow's trouble. It takes away today's peace. Is all because that stress hormone, which is called cortisol, and these cortisols are secreted from adrenal gland. It's act through the hypothalamus, pituitary and adrenal axis. Based upon the situation, right, that hormones, cortisol is secreted. So few amount of cortisol at the normal physiological level is required for day-to-day activities of the organ and system. But continuously, large amount of cortisol can lead to the catabolic and anabolic function, which have impact on immune system as well. You see that here, that in your blood there are red blood cells and white blood cells. These red blood cells carry oxygen and nutrients to the tissue, whereas the white blood cells, that neutrophils, monocytes, eosinophils, lymphocytes, okay, these all are comes the defense mechanism. They protect your body. So when your body is damaged, or that entry of your pathogen, microbes or bacteria or virus enters, that body recognize this as a foreign body. And then the system, that macrophage system that come in the picture, and give the alarm to the all cells, and that chemical substance, that is cytokines and interleukins, they come in the picture and modify these pathogens, and ultimately it kills. That yoga contributes to downregulation several pro-inflammatory markers, mainly interleukin 6 and tumor necrosis factor and C-reactive proteins. So, did you know deep breathing is one of the body's strongest self-healing mechanism? So, here if you see, the respiratory system is a network of organ and tissue that helps you breathe, which includes airway, lungs and blood vessels. The respiratory muscles, diaphragm, intercostal muscles that power your lung to breathe. In the act of your inhalation and exhalation, inhalation is an active process, whereas exhalation is passive process. You take oxygen, and this oxygen is taken at the level of that alveoli, where the tissues that exchange takes place due to diffusion. The oxygen is given to the blood, to the tissue, where carbon dioxide, which is taken out from the body. If you take the spirometer, right, spirometer is the study by which you can see the lung volume and capacities. So that yoga study shows that yoga asana helps to improve lung volume and capacities. When you compare with normal and this COVID lung X-ray, you will be able to see here that the healthy dark appearance of these are healthy lungs. When you compare with the post-COVID patient X-ray, you will see that lot of the changes in the lung. That lungs are filled with occupied and modified with the fibrotic tissues changes. So that reduces actually your oxygen consumption, right? And it will lead to the condition is called hypoxia. The hypoxia is decreased level of oxygen at the tissue level, and which can be lethal to the life. When you talk about that cardiovascular system, right, so your heart beats around 60 to 90 beats per minute, and the stroke volume is 70 beats per minute. So that cardiac output is around 5 liters per minute, right, is totally taken care by the sympathetic and parasympathetic activity, which regulates your heart rate, and mainly heart rate depending upon the stressful condition or different situation, your heart rate will increase. Ultimately, it will lead to the increase of stroke volume and cardiac output. If it is continuous, definitely it will have impact on your blood pressure, and blood pressure can increase. The condition is called hypertension. That normal coronary blood flow, if you see, around 250 ml per minute, that can, when your lifestyle modification, if you are not doing and you are taking all the junk foods, that cholesterol mainly, that bad cholesterol get deposited in your blood vessels, and if there is a injury to the blood vessel, definitely clot which will block the blood circulation. So ultimately it will lead to that condition called myocardial infarction, which is lethal, which can be lethal to the life. So a study demonstrates that yoga based lifestyle modification helps in regression of coronary lesion, improvement in myocardial perfusion, and clinical and symptomatic improvement as well. When we talk about musculoskeletal system, includes bone, muscles, tendon, ligament, and soft tissues which work together to support our body weight and help us to move. Modern lifestyle, aging, and injuries can cause pain. That study shows that asanas, meditation, or combination of these two can reduce your pain and improve flexibility. So if you'll see here that a small joints which have between two bones there is a gap, and these are the cartilage, right? And this gap is filled with the synovial fluid, which helps us to movement of the joints and all. So if this cartilage are actually porous, and if there is a permanent loss of synovial fluid, can lead to the decrease of space, and as well as this bone cartilage get damaged, and bone ends rubs together, and which ultimately turns out in inflammation, and which is really painful condition. This condition is called osteoarthritis, which is very commonly seen in old age. If rheumatoid arthritis, you can see that swollen, inflamed synovial membrane, which ultimately cause the deformity of the bone joints, and these are very painful condition. And several studies shows that after this yoga asanas, they have impact on the reduction of the pain, as well as the management of rheumatoid arthritis has demonstrated a satisfactory significant improvement in the patient. When you take EEG, electroencephalogram, that is a study of your brain cell, so you will be able to see that different type of waves, right? So these waves are nothing but electrical signals of your brain cells, right? That can be identified based upon their frequency and the amplitude. Based upon frequency and amplitude, there are different types of waves, which is recognized as a beta, alpha waves, theta waves, and delta waves. When you are awake with the mental activity, you will be able to get that beta wave. So you see that Sahaj Yoga meditation on encephalogram in the patient of major depression found an increase in alpha activity after 2 months of practices. So you see that this alpha waves actually increases. So now stress, the emotion and behavior have impact on emotion and behavior as well. This is controlled by the limbic system, and here that stress also impact on the prefrontal gamma aminobutyric acid GABA pathway, impairing the function of limbic system. So when you must be seeing that patient who is in stress, under stress condition, they are very much they are not ready to mingle easily with you, and they are very irritable. Is all because of that stress have impact on emotion and behavior because of that limbic system have. So yogic practice enhances muscular strength and body flexibility, promotes and improves respiratory and cardiovascular function, promotes recovery from the treatment of addiction, reduces stress, anxiety, depression, and chronic pain, improves sleep pattern, and enhance overall well-being and quality of your life. So if you will include in your daily practice, in daily life, the yoga practices, it will have impact on your body, right? So is that you can see here physiological changes, blood pressure reduces, cholesterol reduces, blood glucose level will remain almost normal, right? Which will have impact on psychological changes. Your mood will be elevated, level of stress will decrease, the self-efficiency will increase, quality of life will increase. If your quality of life, these all things are increased, definitely you will feel that there are behavioral changes. You will be pro-physical activity and definitely healthy diet. So definitely the negative effect of yoga, that not all yoga asanas are recommended for all. There are some limitation to practice, otherwise you can land on the certain injuries like back pain, neck pain, knee pain, ankle pain, pulling of muscles. These all will be the lethal in day-to-day life. So the moment you change your perception is the moment you rewrite the chemistry of your body. So take my take-home message: be with yoga, be at home, take care of yourself. Jai Hind. Thank you.